Whoa, this bike behind me is absolutely mind-blowing. With features like dead silent belt drive, 3 internal automatic gears, and a price point that makes main dealer bike brands quiver, this bike might be your next purchase. Don't just take my word for it though, let me show you why this bike is so amazing. So, this is the Addo Air 20 Ultra. It is the top spec of 3 out of these Air 20 models. This means there is a choice of 3 ranging from the Air 20, Air 20 Pro and Air 20 Ultra, all which come with certain more upgraded features the higher you go up the spec range. This being the top of the pack, it has some unreal spec on it and it even features a world's first. Absolutely crazy, I know. So let's run you through these specs. We have an integrated 3-speed Bafang motor on the rear. This puts out 250 watts, 40 newton meters of torque, and the best part about it is it's completely automatic, so you don't even have a shifter up here. All you have to do is pedal, and this gearbox knows what gear to put you in out of the 3 different gears depending on how much power you are putting through these pedals. Not only that, but it is driven by this nice carbon belt here, and the only place I've ever seen one of these before is on electric motorbikes like a Sur-On, for example. Initially you might be thinking that a carbon belt like this is just a sort of gimmicky thing to sell more bikes, but when you ride this, it is dead silent compared to a chain bike. Like, I can't even describe it. You literally have no sound pedaling along. It's unreal. Makes the riding experience so much better. And one of the cooler things about this is that this is basically no maintenance. You don't have to oil it, you don't have to check that it's tensioned. It just comes set up and it's ready to go. Yeah, eventually this will probably wear down, or you might even snap it if you're really going ham, but all you'd have to do is just replace this belt and then you're done. You don't have to do anything else. None of this horrible, what lube shall I put on my chain, and oh, I might have just got it on my disc and now I've broken my brakes. You just whack this on and go. It's just unbelievable. We have this seat integrated battery, which is a 36 volt battery of about 4 to 6 hours charge time. The way it works is you plug this little bit in here that powers on the bike. You've got a little button to turn the actual battery itself on, and this is a cool part, you have this really small profile key that allows you to take the seat out, and this battery, I mean, I'm holding it right now, this powers that whole bike. I've never felt an e-bike battery that light in my life. And it says you can get 100 kilometers of range out of this. If you watch some of my past bike reviews, you will remember I did a review of a bike that had 2 separate batteries on there, and they were massive, and the range on that was only 120 kilometers. So to get just 20 kilometers less out of such a thin, lightweight battery is just unreal. It's like such a game-changing feature for these e-bikes. We have 3 power modes, but it's actually kind of 6 because you get 1, 2 and 3 all the way up, but this is in sport at the minute, and you can actually change this into eco for if you're cruising along, you don't need that extra boost, and I think that's probably where you're going to get the 100 kilometers. I'm going to be riding it in sport today because I want the maximum power and I want to put this thing through its paces to just see how it performs. For our wheels, we've got this nice 20-inch rim on here with a 1.95 tyre on there, perfect for riding through the cities, and this rubber is supposed to be puncture resistant, so any of them little bits of sharp stone or some annoying glass in the way, you should be alright with these. We even get cool foldable pedals for packing this thing down into your car or on the train. This nice lightweight aluminium frame folds here in the middle, and you also get a nice folding bit on the bars here, so you can properly pack this thing down, which I'll show you the profile of that in a little bit. It also comes with built-in mudguards front and back that you don't have to fit yourself when it comes out of the box. They are pre-installed, and on the rear one you also have this rack rail thing here, so if you are bringing any luggage along with you, you can strap stuff down on here and get on your way. The last 2 features are stuff that we have seen crop up on e-bikes quite a lot more often these days, which is indicators. These are only working on the rear though, it doesn't have an option for front indicators, but usually it's really only the people behind you that you need to warn where you're going. And we have this nice front light on the front, which you do just turn on by holding the plus button down. Obviously it is daylight so we can't see, but this is a very powerful beam of light. So I've gone on about how dead silent this bike is when you bike in it, but you're not just going to believe me just by me telling you. So I'm going to get on this thing now, we're going to set the camera down, and I'm also going to put the camera right next to this belt drive so you can hear how actually quiet this thing is. I don't think you'll believe it. Like, listen to that. Listen to what? Yeah, exactly. Like, unbelievable. All you get is the ticking of that hub. You always get that horrible, annoying, like, metallic sound with a chain driven bike. No matter what you do to it, no matter how much you tighten it, oil it, whatever, you just always can hear that chain when you're pedaling. This is just unreal. So nice to ride. Even just looking back on that footage myself, it sounds wrong. It sounds like I've edited it out. So cool. In terms of warranty, you actually get a 5-year warranty on the frame itself. So if anything to do with this frame breaks or snaps, anything at the welds, this little bit, connection point here, 5-year warranty, so that will be replaced for you. All the other parts, they are 1-year warranty. So once all that expires, you'll have to buy your own bits. But I think that just shows how much they trust the build of this frame to give you 5 years warranty. They know this thing isn't going to break. There's also an app that you can connect to this bike with, and it will tell you like how far you've biked, all the features that are up on the display, distance, time, mile. You even have a little GPS thing in there so you can track like where you've been, which I think is so sick. But if I was watching this video, I'd be sick of listening to me speak. So let's whack on the GoPro, go for a ride and see how it actually performs in real life. So then the adventure has started from a dead stop. We can see instantly changes gears knowing how much power I'm putting down. It's so sick. It gives you that little boost at the start in first gear, and then it will switch to second, power you through. It literally works like an automatic gearbox on a car. Like, it's faultless. It's actually unbelievable. It'd be interesting though to see how it does with downshifting. Now they did actually tell me don't take this off-road because it's a city bike, but obviously we've got to pedal across this bit just to give you an idea of what it performs like on some more rugged terrain. This isn't anything horrible, but even in city biking you might have to bike across some fields here and there, and it is still working great. It's like nothing's even making a sound. It's so weird. Usually you'll get a lot of chain slap going across stuff like that, but no noise whatsoever because of that carbon belt drive. So sick. I'm also just so impressed by how it knows what gear to put me in. Like, how does it even do that? It's so cool. And like, let's slow down, turn around here. So we slow down, and I am in top gear at the minute, but it knows to change me down. It's instantly dropped me down a gear so I can pull away quicker. It's just insane. So cool. Really like this carbon belt drive feature. I think it definitely sells this bike as a bit of a beast. The other thing is like how much you barely notice these gear changes. Like, it's not a big clunky swap to another gear like it is on a chain driven bike. It's just silent in the dream. We'll do this loop again. We'll slow right down, get it to think I'm in the bottom gear. So I'm now in the bottom gear, pull away, that's a gear, and that's a gear again. Like, you don't even hear it. It's insane. You do get a bit of feeling in the pedals, which isn't anything to worry about at all. It's not like you might get caught off guard like mid pedal stroke and then slip and crash or something. So yeah, this is absolutely unreal. Another thing that I've thought about is like, you don't have to worry about your chain snapping if you have to do a hard pull away at any point, because this is something that I do get worried about with e-bikes, because they've got a lot of torque, and like, you might be in sort of the wrong gear for your pull away and you have to pull out in front of a car quickly or something, for example. You can quite often chew up your chains, but with this belt drive thing you don't have to worry about that at all. I also just thought about another thing, and that is, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider it, because it helps me out a lot. And I've got some more banger videos planned. We've got some more of these bikes from Addo coming, so we can do more reviews and you guys can get a better idea of which one you might want to use. Let's continue on our mission though, see if we can break anything, send it down this little bit here. Handling them bumps, the dream, with these nice puncture resistant thin tyres. I do have 40 psi in them at the minute, and that felt like nothing. That was quite the dream going down that. Right, let's head to some more back roady sort of zones where you can give this thing a bit of a test. Oh, I've started to get a bit of creak from somewhere. I think that's from the cranks. I'd imagine if you just did those up, that would be fine once again. But I was also noticing it's quite like agile, this thing, and really nimble. You can sort of maneuver it fast if you need to, you know, swerve out of the way of something or dip back in after you've overtaken someone. It's like the dream. And the riding position of this feels so good. Initially I thought these bars were a bit skinny, but I actually lifted the bars up a bit, which you can do with this riser here, so you can adjust how high or low these things are, and it made such a difference in how these bars actually feel. The seat is probably technically a bit low for me because I'm not using my full extension of my leg range on each pedal stroke, but I quite like it like this. It's sort of an in-between of being sat down and being stood up on like an ordinary mountain bike, for example. We're just coming up to a little hill bomb into a hill climb here, so we'll see how the gears work their way through this. We're currently on the downslope. We're hitting sort of a limit of me pedaling in these gears, I think, so I'm just going to cruise and let it roll down this hill, see what speeds we can get to. I have swapped it to miles an hour, so we're almost at 30, we're at 26. I'm just hoping these brakes work at the bottom. Oh, I'm not going to have a very good day. Here we go, 30 miles an hour. The dream. What a downhill beast. Brake into this corner and then get ready for the uphill climb. It's keeping me in third gear at the minute, but I think it's going to change. I can feel some power kicking in there though. I think the way that it works, it sort of gives you more or less power throughout each 3 gears, depending on like how much effort I'm putting into the pedals. So if I slow it down here, it should change. If I pull away again, yeah, I felt it change there. So this is gear 2, I think now, and then we should get a little clunk. There we go, that is gear 3. So it works quite well for these uphill climbs. You will be pedaling on the limiter quite often, which in the UK and a lot of European countries is 25 kilometers an hour, and it is quite easy to reach that speed on these e-bikes. So generally you will be sat on the limiter unless you want to pedal past it, but it's never very nice to do that on an e-bike, simply because your body and brain gets used to like having the boost, so that when you hit the end and you try and like now pedal past it, yeah, I can do it, but it's not that enjoyable. So we've just hit 10 miles on the odometer, and I've done about a fifth of the battery from what I can tell on this screen here. If we multiply that out, that is obviously going to be 50 miles for the whole battery, which I don't know what that is in kilometers, but you guys can see it on the screen right here, and I'm willing to bet that is pretty close to the 100-kilometer range that it says you can get out of this battery. And considering I'm in the top mode of sport mode, I think that's quite impressive. So we're now just heading to some more back road areas. I'm going to find some more trails to go down, maybe see if we can find a little bit more rugged terrain to ride this thing on, see how it performs. Still slightly more off the beaten track, but still the sort of thing you will be doing on this bike. As you can probably see and hear, this is quite bumpy, this track, but I'm still not finding it to be unpleasant to ride on. I mean, I've got that front suspension on like maximum suspension mode, so it is taking out the shock from the front quite a nice amount. So far I've still not run into any issues with this gearbox, not doing anything strange, it's not locking on the power, it's not randomly downshifting or anything like that. It's just cruising along, working how you expect it to. Hang on a second though, actually, I almost forgot to show you what this thing looks like fully folded up, so let's get to that now and I'll show you the profile of this beast. And just like that, it is fully folded up. Look at the profile of that, that's insane. That will fit in pretty much any car boot. Perfect for if you're traveling on a train, you want to fold it up and just sort of put it next to you rather than locking it up. Even locking it up and then breaking it down like this to prevent someone from stealing it, it's quite a good idea. Obviously you can put this seat further down as well to fit in even better. Let's carry on to these bits I said about and show you some more features. Here we go then, some rugged terrain. Ow, literally got stung by nettles about 50 times then. But up on here, cruising down through this nice downhill section, nice and agile on these turns. Oh, we're coming into some bumps. Handled those, the dream. Let's carry on through here. The only other thing that I didn't realise until a minute ago, oh, ducked that tree, is that these brakes are actually backwards. So I've got to make sure not to slam on the front brake and die. Rooty section. Purposely make it worse myself, but still the dream. Suspension's putting in a nice shift there on the front. Right, it's a bit of a hill climb test I can do here. I'm dead stopped, so we're going to pull away. It's giving me first gear for longer into second, and then it's giving me second for quite a while, which is good because I do actually need that extra bit of power to pull me up this hill here. It could have maybe held first gear a bit longer, but I don't think that's a huge issue. You still don't really have to put much effort in to get it going. So I think even for someone who's buying an e-bike because their mobility is a bit reduced, it's still fine on them uphill climbs. So it's been amazing on this bike so far, but I am running out of SD card space. So let's get back onto some roads and give this thing a bit more testing. Here we go then, back on this bike's hunting ground, some nice flat tarmac. Even after all those bumps, roots and horrible little bashes this bike has taken, it still sounds the dream pedaling it along. Nothing's rattled loose. I love it. It's actually insane. What an amazing bike. I know I've said about it loads, but I just can't stop thinking about how quiet this thing is. It's just so nice. Actually the dream, like just nothing makes a sound. It's like when you buy a new scooter and you do everything up perfect and you drop it on the ground and it doesn't make a rattle anywhere. We're going to finish things off there, and what an insane bike this is that Addo have made. Let's just run through everything again. You got that 250 watt motor on the rear with the 3-speed automatic gearbox. We've got carbon belt drive, we've got storage rack, seat adjustment, bar adjustment, folds in 2 places, punctureless 20-inch tyres, front suspension, a light, indicators, folding pedals, and 6 power modes. Oh my god, insane, such a mouthful. But if you like this video and you like this bike, click the link in the description. You can check it out, check out some more info, get yourself one if you want to get one ordered, or you can also look at the other 2 which are slightly lower spec but still just as awesome. And if you want to see me review those 2 bikes, subscribe now and then videos will be out soon. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.